individual stocks, this definition. The lesson is that the early bird gets the worm. The early bird gets the worm. The early bird gets the good money and the worm. So why does the open matter? I always like to break it down for things that make sense. This helps people understand, specifically people that are new to trading. And if you've never traded the open before, this helps make sense of it for you too. Because you have to understand what you're doing if you want to have conviction in trading. I think that's very helpful. The first half hour of the day is the most important time of the day to make money trading. Why? Because most stocks set the tone of their entire trading day during this period. And I'm 100% serious of this. You can even go back and look at the first 15-minute bar of a chart and look at the daily bar. Many times they will look exactly the same. Also, it is the best time to take a detailed entry in a stock that will provide the highest risk to reward payout. Why? Because you will be entering the stock before the full force of a move has occurred. And the whole idea to make money is to get in before the move, before the force, not after it's already gone or halfway gone. The setups for good trades happen within this first half hour of the day, and sometimes the moves are completely done. What is going on, though, during this time period? What is really going on, and why does it have significance? I'll tell you why. Because the people in power for the day in that stock take charge. And more importantly, they show their hand. They show their hand. They're giving you the clues. They're telling you the story ahead of time. They're showing you their hand. You see the shock, the panic, the urgency, and more importantly, there's a fast, forced decision-making that happens on the open. It's a sense of urgency. It's forced decision-making. Sometimes it's panic, but sometimes it's just a forced decision-making, a sense of, oh, got to do it now, have to get out, have to do something here, what do I do? They do it, okay? They're showing their hand, and that's the advantage. So the side of the power is clear. You must take advantage of it. You've got to learn how to trade this period. It absolutely matters. Why? You're going to make more money doing this than any other time of the day. Number one and number two, you are going to get the entries to help you get in the momentum moves, because that's how you're going to make money as a trader. So the open equals what? Power. Power, power, power. This is what it is showing you. This is an example of crust. Okay, this is a 1-minute chart that was back in April. Opened up here, held $20, and right away, this is the first 1-minute bar of the day, and took off like this. Raced down and showed you the power. What was the power? The power was selling action into the open, and hard selling, by the way, because the first bar here was big and ran right down into it. And by the way, the low of the bar in this day, from the tippy top where this opened here, I never saw over this bar of the day of the gap, which is the highest, $20, ran all the way down to $17.87. So for a $20-some stock, it ran like $2.13-some on the day. And it all started right here. Right here, it showed its hand right in here. What happened? The power. The power people. They showed their hand. They said, wait a minute, we want out. So therefore, you got the clue. You got the clue. When it opened here, held $20, couldn't get above it, and now you know what to do with this. There's no question. They're showing their hand. Why is the power important? Because power equals momentum. Just like if you were at Niagara Falls, okay? If you were at Niagara Falls and you were riding a nice little boat raft up here, you were having a great day, you said, wait a minute, I don't want to go down there. I'm just going to go back to the island. There'd be no going back. There's no going back to the island. You can't you could paddle as hard as you wanted to. You wouldn't be able to stop the momentum. The momentum would take you over the falls, and down you'd go. And that'd be the end of the story for you. You couldn't backtrack. Momentum takes effect, goes and runs. There's no stopping it. That's the beautiful thing about trading stocks. When you know where the power is, it takes you on the side of the momentum. Therefore, you get in it, and you just ride it all the way down. If you wanted to go on a little ride, this is a nice biggie ride, okay? Now, it might be a little bit too big, but if you're playing stocks, this is a huge move in the side down, and that's what the power signifies. The power that's happening is equaling the momentum. You cannot stop a gushing, rushing body of water like this, you won't be able to move against it. Pretend that's what's happening when you get into these stocks. When you get into these stocks and you're on the side of the power, go with it. If you're against it, you're going to lose. So that's why you have to learn, first of all, where it is. Because you don't want to play against it, you'll lose. But playing with it, you're going to win. You're going to win big, okay? There's no playing against it. And yet, many people don't understand this, and this is why it is so vital to get this right, and as quick as you can, right on the open, because the people that are in power are showing their hand immediately, and you can know what to do. Before this happens, before you go over the cliff, figure out which direction you want to head. Don't get in this and decide you want to paddle back too late. I don't want to do it. I don't want to get out. No, it's too late. Know what to do beforehand. If you wanted to go down here, then you better get on before it goes. So what is the result as a trainer with momentum? It's like money just falls from the sky. I always say this. The best trading days I ever had, the market just gives it to me, the gap gives it to me, the stock gives it to me. It's like money falling from the sky. Momentum equals money as a trader. You've got to play in this right direction. This is the way to do it. It's the easiest way to do it because it's the easiest way you can have big trading days. And also, the beauty is you can have them quickly. Why? Because these things are showing their hand soon, very quickly on the day. So what is it that I do? The stocks that I'm picking, the stocks that I'm trading are gaps. The reason that I'm doing gaps is because they have the momentum. They have momentum in the actual gap because people are making a decision on this guy right here. This is the crust. This is the 1 minute chart I showed you a little while ago. Here it is. Here what it did on the day. So the stock opened in the morning up here. The power people showed their hand early, and you saw it, and you got in, and you played the momentum in the gap. This is the gap. The gap is the strategy, okay? This is a daily chart of crust. And you want to be in this up here. You don't want to be in this down here. You don't even know if it's going to get past here. This is like half the move is done. I would pass on this. I know that sounds crazy, but I do it all the time. If I'm not in these things in the first 30 minutes of the day, if they don't set up for me, if they don't trigger, I don't do them. I won't do them. I'll pass. It's not right. The power people decided, the people that control the money, that control this stock, that control the world, decided that they were getting out of crust today. They didn't like this thing. There was a problem, and they wanted to sell out of it. And actually, when you see bars like this, there's many things going on. Selling power and shorting power. Shorting and selling power. Right in here. Mark is saying that he has no sound. Kathy, can you check that? Can everybody hear me? I've been talking now for 10 minutes. Can everyone hear me? I hope so. Let me know. Can everybody hear me? All right, good. All right, so the strategy that I do is gaps, and I've named them. I've named them golden gaps because they're so powerful. It's like finding gold in the market when they go. And the golden gap course that I teach teaches you to just focus on finding this momentum. That is the goal. That is what you're trying to do. That's the purpose of trading. You want to find the momentum, and you want to find it ahead of time before it goes, because it doesn't really help you if it's halfway down. It doesn't really help you if it's a little way down. You want to make the money before the thing falls off the cliff. So the focus has to be on the momentum. It's got to be on the side of momentum in order to make money as an individual trader. The major factor in a person's success rate is playing the correct directional move of a stock. It sounds very simple. It is very simple, and yet many people fail to do this right. In order to accurately play the move, you must determine the side of power which dictates the momentum, and do so before it happens. Before it happens. That's the key. That's the ticket. That's why the open is important too. Let the people show you their hands. If you predetermine the momentum, you can take the trade and be in it before the momentum occurs. And being on this side of the momentum, getting in the river before it drops off the cliff, that's the key. That's the key to making money as a trader. Okay, and this is the entire philosophy behind the golden gap that I teach. So let's take it a step further. Let's take it a step further and explain through knowledge. Again, this is very important. Why this is important for the Golden Gap strategy. You've got to read what's going on here in the story of the stock. This is EW. This was the gap that I did back in April. And you have to read the story. Let's read the story. So EW had earnings that came out. And this is on the 23rd. This is the night before. Okay, you can see the time down here. So it was all the way up here, gapped a little bit down. This is where it closed. Okay, at 4 o'clock Eastern time. And then here, all of a sudden, the earnings come out. The high this far is like $80.38. Then the earnings come out, and it starts to trade down. Ooh, it's trading down a lot. What's happening here? This is really, really trading down. Now, this is still post-market. This is after the close of the market. The earnings are coming out. There's nothing to do here yet. You're watching this thing trade. You're saying, wait a minute, what's going on? So then it comes down here and starts to base out. Starts to base out here around $74 area. Okay. Now remember, it was all the way up here and closed like $83 the night before, like just at 4 o'clock. And all of a sudden it's like almost 4:30. In 30 minutes, what does the story tell us? In 30 minutes time, the story tells us that the stock dropped $10. It literally closed up here around 83 bucks. And in 30 minutes, actually it's dropped more than $10. By 4:30 Eastern time, it was down 13 bucks. What's the story? What's the story? We don't want this thing. Sell us. Get out. Sell out of the stock. Sell it, sell it, sell it. Sell me, sell me, sell me. Trying to save itself in this one green bar here. Nope, not going to do it. Came back in here and retested this area right in here. Retested this low of this area right in here before it closed was $69.85. Came back up again, tried to go higher, couldn't do it. Came back down at the exact same place. Look, it's forming a nice little basey in here. This is all happening at night. Tries to go up higher again. What does it do? Barely goes back to the area of resistance it has in here. Cannot even get up to this green bar. These people here couldn't even get up to this green bar here. This is all happening at night. You're not doing anything. You're watching it. You're getting the information. You're reading the story. You're reading the information. And then as time goes on, it closes. Okay, it's getting late at night. The thing closes. You get up in the morning and say, wait a minute, I think I like this thing. I think this is going to have momentum. This is the 26-point rating system Melissa teaches. This is it. Let me rate this. Okay, you rate it. It rates good. Then what happens? Well, then you get up in the morning. Look, the first tick here, this is 8 o'clock. Guess what this number is? $69. It's one tick. It counts. It's somebody that did that. That's a trade. Everything counts. Then it runs up here. Guess what this high is right up in here. This is 8:01. 8:01 in the morning. The stock just opened the next day. After all this, $70. Can't get over it. Can't even get anywhere near these people or these people over here that tried to hold it up. They tried. They really tried. Who is in charge? Where's the power? This guy tried. He couldn't do it. This guy tried back here. No, he couldn't do it there. That guy tried, and this guy tried, and that person, and a couple feeble attempts in here tried. And you know what? Nobody even tried. Then after that, nobody even tried. No one even tried after that. The next morning, they all gave it up. They said, you know what? Forget it. Forget this thing. Just take it out. Just sell it now. The story is telling you the stock closed the night before at $83. Tried the best that it could into here and gave no response. Woke up in the morning, couldn't get over $70 to save its life. Okay? And who do you think's in charge? Who do you think's in charge? What's the story? The story is that the stock doesn't want to go anywhere but down. The story is telling you ahead of time. It's getting ready to go down. It's slowly making the turn. It's scooping, and it's getting ready, and it's stair-step casing itself down, and it's actually waiting to do the full-on break into the open. It was a beautiful thing. But this whole move down from 8 a.m. into even here where it opened was like over $3. I mean, it's just ridiculous, the power that happens in these things. So you read the story. This is a very easy way to trade, except for many people don't understand what they're supposed to do. It's easy to me because I know what to look for, and I'm looking for what? For the momentum. The momentum is down. Nobody wants this thing. They tried, and they gave it up. And by the morning time, no one was even trying. I mean, you could count the green bars here in one hand. There was less than 5, okay? And then what happened? Here was the gap on the day, and here it was the night before. You can see it all the way up here where it closed the night before. Here's the $83. What do you think the story is telling you here? There's a big problem. That's the story. And you want to get in the momentum so you can get this thing. And by the way, this could have gone even farther. I mean, this could have even gone even farther on the day. You never know where these take you. It did go to the first target. And here was the play. Actually, I did 2 plays on this. I only did a jiggy on one of the plays we're going to go over here, but I actually did 2 plays on this. I was so aggressive on this. I love this thing. The way that this traded, it was so clear to me this was going to work out. I actually shorted this in here, took it down, and was out of this in this bar. You know this was more than $1. I actually got in right here. This was so aggressive. Got out quick after I got $1, and then did the trade I'm going to go over with you here today. Right in there. Stop over these people. And it goes right to the target immediately. When is this happening? From 9:30, look, the trade is done even before the 30-minute period. Here's 10 o'clock. It went right to the target. It went actually to the target in 15 minutes, to the target. And it could have gone even farther. There's many times that these things will then go and crash down to the bottom of the earth after they do this kind of move in the morning. But the gap was a big gap, and it was exhausted by this point. Beautiful play in here, though, and beautiful play here. The entry time was 9:37. Early in the morning, once again, read it, see what's happening, read the story so you know what to do. You're looking for an entry. How can I get in? I want to get the setup. I want the confirmation. You can't look for confirmation for an hour. Okay, the confirmation is the gap, by the way. Reading the gap and seeing it and reading the story way before this happens. The price of the entry is $65.76. Stop is right over that base. We'll go back and look at it. Risk was 29 cents on 1,300 shares. For example, if you risk $377, the target was really $63.50. It bounced in there. You get out. You take it. You get fill. Profit was $28.73. Time of the day, 9:43 in the morning. 9:43 in the morning. And you made almost $3,000. Okay? You made 7.6 times the amount you risked. This is amazing. This is the time of the day to get this kind of R&R. In the morning, in the first half an hour of the day. Either getting in the trade then and maxing it out and getting out by 10, or getting in to get the good entry and just letting it keep running if it's going to keep running, which was many times they do. Let's go back and look at it. So you read the whole story. We went over the story. We loved it, and that's why we said we're doing it. Now, even when this dropped off here, what are you going to do? Are you going to put a blindfold on and say, I still don't know who's in charge? If you don't know who's in charge after everything I went over from initially, you have to know who's in charge here. Look, a couple of people, this was me probably getting out of the first trade in here, this little guy, and everybody else. You have to read this for what's really going on here. This is not a buy. This isn't going to be a buy. This isn't going to fill the gap. This isn't going to do anything. Even the rally is happening the last couple of days, the stock is ruined from this gap that happened. It was very devastating. And this is why you want to play these things early to get these moves. So here you're in, stop over here. Beautiful risk to reward trade because the entry was right at the beginning, before the momentum. This is really the momentum. Or you could have taken the trade here where I did and stayed in all the way down. But I squeezed 2 trades out of it. Well, Dan is asking me a good question. We're going to go over a beginner trader. Let's go over the beginner trader. Dan is saying, what about, what's the cost of the number of shares you'd have to go? This guy here, he's brand new. He just started out. He loves working on this computer. He's getting used to his charts. He wants to make money. He's excited about this. He's ready to go. He's going to do EW. Yes, the price point is $65. He doesn't care. He's going to do it for a beginner. He's got to do it. He's got to get used to doing this. He's got to start from somewhere. So what's he going to do? He's not going to risk almost $400, but he is going to risk $87, okay? So on 300 shares, remember you're trading with leverage. You're trading with leverage. Now, it depends what type of account you have, okay? If you have an account that has a normal retail account with leverage, you don't need, even that much, even if you have a retail account. And if you have a prop account, you need even less. So 300 shares of this, the risk is only $87. You don't need some huge account with this, and you can still benefit from the risk to the reward. The risk to reward here is still 7.2. You don't need to take 1,300 shares. Only take 300. And if you have a day trading account, you have to be able to take at least 300 shares of a stock like this. You really have to have an account to be able to do this no matter what kind of account you have. There's opportunities in these stocks. I'm not saying run out and trade price line, okay? But, in this range, about $50, $60, $70, these have these nice moves. This is how you're getting in something, boom, and it drops $2.50 in the first 15 minutes of the day. I'm going to show you another example, though, that was not this price point after this one, so stick with me, that was cheaper. But the risk was $87, and you got paid and made $663, and you were done by 9:43 in the morning. Your day is in. Your day is in. The risk to reward is what pays. Dan is asking me about options. I don't teach options. That's not what I teach. But I will tell you that there are people that have taken my class and are reading the gaps and rating the gaps based on the strategy I taught them and doing options. All right? Now, I don't do that. There's more money in this. This is a learned skill to do this, and yes, you need an account, but you can do the beginner person. You can do the beginner guy, all right? So let's go to the next example. Here we go. We get up, and we want to read this story. What's going on with this one? The symbol doesn't even matter. What's the story? This stock, whatever it might be, it could be ABC, anything in the world. What's happening? May 9th, okay? Nothing happened the night before, May 9th. For whatever reason, the stock gaps down, and here it is. A couple people, one or two ticks. Here they are. What are they doing? The high here is about 1080, 1077, 1080-ish. Here's where it closed at 4 o'clock the night before. Everybody's happy, everybody's fine, everybody's joyous. It's up here at $12.80. All of a sudden, 8 o'clock in the morning, there's a problem. It's down $2. What is the story? What is the story telling you? What is going on here? Well, not much. A couple people getting some more volume in it. Is it going to go down? Wait. No, it doesn't look like it's going to go down here. Look, it's ran up here. The high of this bar is 1065. What's going on? No, came back down again. Did it ever see that? It just never saw that number the rest of the morning. Came down in, more people got in, and the volume's increasing, and more people got in, and the story of the power is in one direction, down. The story is telling you that the direction is down, and therefore, you're getting all the information. You've got the information in your head. You're seeing the hand of the power before it takes place. This is telling you everything you need to know. Now, of course, you can't do this with every single thing that gaps. That's why I have a system where I teach how to find these ones and rate them to know that these are going to work. But once you rate them, and then you have this information and you read the story and you say, yes. Because what I find is that many people, they just don't know what to look for, and they get concerned. They get a big green bar in the morning pre-market. They think it's going to flip, and they think it's going to get bought and fill the gap, and that's completely erroneous if the gap rate's high in my system. I'm looking to short it. And what happens? Base is here. And guess what? Open, can't get over $10. In fact, the tippy top of this bar up here, I just noticed it when I was doing this, was like 10.02. Really, stop should have been over 10.02. But I really put it so tight that it wouldn't get over $10, meaning can't get over 10. 10 really was the be-all, end-all here, and it didn't get over 10. Open and it dropped. Here's what it did on the day. Look. Here's what it did. So Dan was saying, how much money do you need to have an account like this? This is a $10 price point. The trade happened at $9. I mean, seriously. 1,000 shares would be $10,000 in BP. And again, you're trading with leverage no matter what type of account you have. So no one should be trading with less than 10,000 buying power for a day trader anyway. And that's only 1,000 shares. Here's LPSN. This was it. This is the perfect gap. The gap opens. It does this one thing here, and you're in, and it stops over it. And if you didn't take that trade, you never took the trade. You never got in this whole thing. That was it. That was the whole move. Not only that, it went beyond the target. I was like $9 for the target. $9, $8.75-ish, $8.80. Went all the way down, tried to break $8, really tried, couldn't do it. And that was the trade, but made it all the way down to $8.03. Beautiful gap. All from what? Reading the side of the power people. Reading what the story was, what they were telling you, so you know to get in the trade before the momentum happens, before it falls off a cliff. It doesn't help you now. Oh, there it is. Oh, it's down. Let me try to get in here. Let me just squeeze it. Let me try to get in here. Let me try to get in. Let me try to get in. There's nothing happened here. That was it. That was the low of the day. This was the low of the day in here. Never, you couldn't do anything else with it. That was it. You missed the whole thing. You missed a great trade with full-on momentum. It was done. And this is the reason to learn this beforehand, to see the directional move that's going to take place before the stock opens on the day. You've got to learn how to take the entries to trade them, but it's very profitable when you can, and plus your day is done. You don't have to sit at a computer till 4 o'clock, and there's no reason to do that anyways. Here was the entry, $9.39. Price was $9.73, stop right over the whole number. Risk was 28 cents, and here if you took 1,300 shares, the risk was $3.64. Exit was $8.10. Total profit was $21.19. You were done by $9.48. Done, completely done. Tries to break under 8, can't do it. You just hit it. You get out. Beautiful trade. Dropped $2 from the open, and you saw that all why in the morning rating the gap. The gap rating system I teach actually helps tell you the story. It's telling you the story ahead of time so you know. And then as time goes on and you get good at this, you know what to look for, and you're familiar with reading the story. Instead of reading something that seems like it's in a different language, it's then in a language you understand and you comprehend. The risk to reward in this trade was 5.8 times the amount you risked. The gaps, I find the gaps. Dan is asking me about finding these. Well, you find the gaps from many things. You can scan for them. You can go into free websites to get the list of earnings. You can scan on your platform. You can buy a scanner. Or you could be in a room that has a gap list. And then you rate the gap. And then you rate the gap, and if the gap rates over 20 points, then you can look at it for a setup to trade. My system is designed to find something that rates more than 20 points. That is the high odds of having momentum. We'll go over that a little bit later. Here's this guy. Don't forget him. He's brand new. He's a beginner person. He doesn't have a lot of money, but he knows he can do it, and he's working towards his goal. So here he is. He sees the trade. He wants to take it. What is he going to do? He's going to get in. He's going to hammer this thing. He's only going to risk $84. His risk is about 75 to 100 in any given day. He's roughing it out. These things happen fast. He takes the trade. He makes $489, risking 84 bucks. That's fantastic. That's absolutely fantastic. And he's done by 9:48. And that's it. That's his day. 5.8 times the amount he risks. Do you think he's going to get ahead? If he keeps doing trades like this, his little dinky account is going to turn into something big. Now, it may take him time. He's going to have to learn how to get this right, but he can do it. He has the ability. He knows what to look for. He can read the story. He rates the gap. He knows to look for the high-rated ones. You have to ask yourself, ultimately, how badly do you want to be successful? There's many people that talk about making money in the market. They want to be traders. They are traders, and they say that they want it, but do they really want it? You got to really want it. You have to really want it. There's no two ifs, ands, or buts about it, okay? This is everybody else, okay? They're trying to make it, and they can't. This guy made it. He made it. He wanted it so badly. He was not going to accept failure. He was going to learn something that worked. He said, I know there's something to this market. I just know there's something to this trading thing. I just know there's something to this idea about momentum. How am I going to get it? Yeah, this gap thing makes sense. It makes sense because there's power people that are controlling these big moves. Somebody has to make that move when something falls out of the sky. Somebody has to make the move when something gaps up high. Somebody has to do that. Who is that? That's big money. It's the power people. Okay? So it intellectually makes sense. And you've got to want it bad enough to learn it, how to do it right. Because the only way the market's going to let you through the door, the gates, the glorious gates, this is, yes, here you are. Welcome. Welcome to making lots of money. Is you've got to want it. Want to learn how to learn it and correctly. So with the right to focus on what the knowledge is first before you can see success. And if you do that, the success is there, it's possible. All of the goals that you want to achieve are possible with the correct knowledge. This is the intelligent way to make money as a trader. Learning first, focus first on what to do. What's the story? What's the side of the power? How can I actually make money trading? Momentum. Yes, that makes sense. Wait a minute. Can I make money if I get in when half the move's over? Not so much. Because you know what happens? After commissions and after platform fees and after room fees, 50% as the move is over. After 10 o'clock, things are go with the market too, because the market's already set its tone. And then after that, what do you have? You're barely making it. You're barely making it, okay? It's too late. You've got to learn how to do this the intelligent way by getting in at the beginning. And the other thing is, too, the beautiful period between 9:30 and 10 often happens in stock symbols when they live in their own world. For like 30 minutes, they're free as a bird. And then all of a sudden, the Papa Bear comes home at 10 o'clock, which is the market, and says, wait a minute, I've decided I'm going to be bullish today and break out to all-time highs. Oops, all right, I guess we're not going to the $5 target today. All right, but you got the move that happened in the 30 minutes, which was directed by the gap, and the power people came in. And many times they will continue on through despite the market wide because the power people might have even more than want to dump into the period and they could care less about the market. But in the morning, things work on their own accord. Why? Because the market hasn't set its tone yet. In the time these things are trading, they're doing their thing, they're figuring themselves out, they're selling off, the market is coming into support, deciding if it's going to base out and get bought, go higher today, raise up to resistance, whatever it's going to do. The market is just figuring itself out between 9:30 and 10 o'clock too. Okay, so the tone for the market is setting itself at that time too. It hasn't set its tone yet. And that's why the stocks are on their own in the period. Okay, so you're going to do what you're going to have to do then to get in and get the good move and follow it through. So I want you to think about your own financial goals. Okay, what is the purpose of you doing this? What is the purpose of you trading? You have financial goals. They could be weekly or monthly or over the course of your life, whatever they happen to be. If you could make over 6 figures per year working less than 2 hours a day from home, by the way, would you do it? Would you decide to learn the right way to trade? Not just to trade for the sake of trading, but actually decide to learn the right way to trade. Would you take a brilliant class, which my class is, by the way, and focus on the proper knowledge of what to do? What if you realized that a bigger profit potential existed to make far greater than 6 figures in a year? Far greater. So your goal was to make the 6 figures, but then all of a sudden you realize, wow, there's a lot of potential in these things. There's even more profit potential than I even thought in here. Yeah. What if there was no limit to the money you could make once you learned a great system? What if the sky is the limit? Just as much money as you want to risk, as much as you can stand, as much money as you have after you know what to do. I mean, really, the sky is the limit. The amazing thing about these stocks and the momentum is they're there for the taking. They're there for the taking. And the sky is the limit. However much you want to risk. $84 as a beginner, $400 as advanced. But quite frankly, these stocks move and have volatility and volume, and you can take these trades and max them out. There's no limit. You can take them as swing trades. You can take them as core trades. Dan was even saying options. Once you learn a great system, the sky is the limit. You can trade it as hard as you want to in many, many different ways. And therefore, the time that you put into learning the system and taking the class and learning it was worth it, because now you have the right knowledge, and that's really all you need. There is power in knowledge. There is power in information. There's power in money, but if you don't know how you made it and you happen to get up tomorrow and make money trading, if you can't duplicate that over and over and over again, it has no meaning. It has no meaning to you. It was nothing but gambling then. There is power in knowledge. That's the power in the stuff that I figured out here, and it's the power in the information I'm teaching people. There is power in the knowledge, and once you have it, no one can ever take it away from you. And that is how you're going to go on, and you're going to make money in the market consistently for years and years and years. It's not about doing one thing and saying, oh, I just happened to get it right that day. The market will take that and more from you in the next week. The power comes from having the right information and knowing how to trade. I mean, that is where people miss the boat. And I'm teaching people that you've got to empower yourself through information, because that is more important than anything else. That is more important than anything else. And even if you start out small, so you get to the point you could work it up to make 6 figures or more, it's worth it, because once you know how to do it, and once you start doing it, the sky is the limit. And you're working from home a few hours a day. So one great system is all you need to make money. And this is a system that I teach. It's about what is important to you in your life. And your time is important. If you have another job, a family, kids, a spouse, your time is very valuable. You've got to focus on what will pay you. It doesn't pay you to sit at your computer all day from 9:30 to 4 o'clock. It's exhausting. It's tiring. It doesn't pay you. Trading the open pays you. You may have to learn how to do it. You've got to figure out where these momentum things are, but once you do and you know how to trade them, they're going to pay you. And they pay you in a short time frame. The focus is on the learning. The commitment is the knowledge, not the time, which is a great thing. So it's about learning how to trade a strategy that puts money immediately into your pocket. I like to get green very quick. The sooner I'm green, the happier I am. I like my first trade to be green. Immediately, as soon as I get in it, I'm green. So the class I teach is the Golden Gap course. The Golden Gap course is a professional gap rating system. The purpose of the system is to teach you how to strategically find, pick, and play stocks that are professional bearish gaps. The Golden Gap course teaches a 26-point rating system to determine which stock to trade each day. And the purpose of the system is to focus on quality stock picks and entries for full maximization of risk to reward payout in trade for the momentum, to get in it for the momentum move. And I use a 26-point checklist. That's how I'm picking these stock symbols. That's how I know which ones to use. And the idea of the system is to trade something that rates over 20 points. Now, do I ever trade something less than 20 points? At 19, it's on the cusp. I can watch it, and at 19, it's a 50-50 chance of working or failing. I'll take it if I get a good setup, but I do that knowing that it may not work. It's really got to be over 20. And the beauty about this checklist is what? This is all in the morning. This is all happening way before the open. So I'm writing out my checklist. Yes, no, yes, yes, yes. I'm figuring it out on the stock, on the gap, way before the market even starts, so I know exactly what I'm watching. I know that I'm watching LPSN. I know that I'm watching EW. I know what I'm watching in the morning before I take these trades. So the Golden Gap course teaches a trading system on a very advanced level for the purpose of potentially huge profits. The system focuses on maximizing winners and keeping losses small. The class teaches how to comprehend. It's in the comprehension, okay, of the chart. And comprehending, calculating, determining the price action to follow the large trading stocks in the market. And that's the power, people. That's the side of the power. Those are the ones that are making the story. They're writing the story. They're in control. They're filming the movie. They're hiring the actors. They're paying them. They're in charge. They're making the determination they rule the world, okay? And that's what happens with gaps and why there's momentum in gaps, because of the large money that is trading them, that is playing them, that is forcing them to take an action. The system is designed for traders to maximize gains when gaps trade high and then set up to trade. Trading on this side of momentum created by large money is how to earn serious money trading. This is how you do it. The Golden Gap course is an education of how to determine the direction a stock gap will make on the day and how to trade it properly, where to get it in, where to get out, where the target is. The class also educates traders on how to read resistance and support on an advanced level, and I find that many people are challenged in this area. I went over that a little bit today in some of these examples. So this is very important, very, very important. Reading these levels helps you trade. So why take the Golden Gap course? To learn a profitable strategy, which should be your goal. And if you do not have a profitable strategy, you need one before you take any more trades. To learn how to take correct entries, because the entry is how you're making the money, so you can get the best price to allow your winners to run. It's hard to let something run to the target if you got in it at 10:15, 10:30, 10:45. To learn how to find targets, because you want to stay in the move if you can. To learn how to find quality stock picks so you have conviction in your trades. To learn how to hold for bigger moves, very key as well. To learn when a trade is not working so you cut the loss quickly. There's times when I just cut it, I'm out. I put the stop in, the stops are supposed to be, it's not supposed to go over this level. If it flips, I'm out. I'm out, I'm out. That's it. It's not going to work on the day. To learn how to make money and take entries in the first 30 minutes of the day for all the reasons we've been talking about. To learn advanced technical analysis, which is basically is reading price. To learn how to read and rate gaps in the correct fashion, which many people do not know how to do, and to learn how to read price. This is the way that I trade, and we were discussing this in a webinar some time ago. Going forward, right now, today, and for the future of trading in the world that we live in, it's all going to be about this. And it's going to get to the point where if you don't know how to read price without an indicator, you're going to not know what to do. You're going to be frozen like a deer in headlights. It's going to be about the price. It's actually about the price right now. When I'm reading these things, that's what I'm reading. That's the story that I'm reading. And those are the people that are telling me the story through the price. Price is an indicator, and it's really the only indicator you need. And to learn how to read support and resistance. Again, very important. So the Golden Gap course that I teach is a complete system to trade. It's a 2-day class. It's like a circle. It's complete. It teaches you the rating system, how to find the right stock to trade. It teaches you how to enter the stock, all the different entries, how to exit the stock, how to find targets. It teaches you everything you need to know like a circle to be complete, because you do need to have a complete system to trade successfully in the market. Otherwise, you're out there hanging out on your own, not knowing which way to go, relying on different things you read, different trading rooms, different calls all over the place, and not feeling the completeness of the picture that's going to lead you to your goal of making the money that you want to make as a trader. Because ultimately, you do need to be profitable. At some point, you've got to start showing results. So the class is called the Golden Gap course. It's this weekend, Saturday and Sunday, May 18th and 19th from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Eastern Time. The cost is $19.99. If you're interested, contact me at melissa@thestockswoosh.com. I recently created an actual whole program for people. It's called the Stock Swoosh Special, and it includes every class that I teach. It's the Golden Gap course, which we just talked about, and this class here, which is on wealth manifestation. I designed this mini class. It's a half-day course for traders who have issues in their mind with money and wealth. It's a trading psychology class. It's a class on how to manifest wealth and abundance in your trading and your life. This is a powerful course that will transform your outlook on your trading and your world. Some of the things I say in this are very bold. It is full of groundbreaking and intellectual information to assist anyone who's looking to evolve and recreate their world. And ultimately, you will evolve if you evolve as a trader. The two coordinate yourself. If you are going to end up becoming successful as a trader, you personally, on a personal level, will evolve. And if you desire to be more successful, then take the first steps today by signing up for this class. It's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to revitalize your trading and your life. And there's a new class that I just wrote called Trends. Many people have been asking me about this because they have issues with reading price patterns, with reading trends in stocks, and they don't understand what's the direction. So I wrote this new class, and this is a course on how to read trends in stock charts. The purpose of the class is to teach you how to read the proper direction on a chart. Short-term and long-term directions are studying. Is it a trend that's bullish, bearish, or neutral? In order to be successful taking positions in trades, a trader must be able to accurately read trends on multiple time frames. Support and resistance is taught in great detail. Once again, very important in reading directional trends. The class focuses on reading price action with detailed technical analysis in order to determine a chart's trend. This class is advanced. So it's everything you need to be a successful trader. I'm offering in one special called the Stock Swoosh Special. It includes the Golden Gap course, the Trends class, the Wealth Manifestation class, and 2 months in the Stock Swoosh Show live trading room for $29.99. This is a savings of almost $700 if you get the special all together. And this is every class that I teach, 2 months in the room. This is the total complete package for you to be successful. Trading gaps and having the mental support system, the support system being in the room, everything you need in order to be successful as a trader. So if you would like more information on this and the dates for the classes, email me at melissa@thestockswoosh.com. But the Golden Gap class is this weekend. It's the 18th and 19th. It's 2 full days. The first day, day 1, is all the 26 points. The second day is all the entries and exits in the trade. So celebrate specials. Give yourself the gift of education. Remember what I was discussing earlier. An intellectual understands that knowledge is the way to profit. You can't get from point A to point B without learning the right knowledge first. This is where traders, sometimes I talk to people, they miss the boat. They're willing to throw all the money they have into the market without learning what to do. And then when you do that, it's a road that you can never come back from once you run out. What are you going to do? You need to learn what to do first. It's the most important thing. You know, I tell people that are brand new to trading, take a class. Don't even take one live trade in the market until you learn what to do. Because you need your capital to trade once you know what to do. The important thing is learning first. After you know what to do and you can do it right, then the sky is the limit. Thank you so much for coming. Does anyone have any questions? Any questions at all? Looks like we're making good time here. So I see a lot of new people here tonight. Does anyone have any questions and gaps? Anything that I went over with? Yeah, you can email me about that, Dan. Go ahead, send me an email. My email is melissa@thestockswoosh.com. Oops, it just went up in there. There. There's no special charting software. I've gotten that question a lot. No, I don't use any special charting software at all. Whatever platform you have, as long as it's a system that you can make charts with candlestick pattern formation and set up a few simple moving averages is all that you need. You saw my charts. My charts are very clean. Are very clean. The only indicators I use is volume and a few moving averages, simple moving averages. That's it, and the candles. So you can use anything that, as long as you can get Japanese candlesticks on them, because I'm using those to help me read the price. It's easier to use the candles to read the price. I would say to find a demo or a cheapy one. Ali has asked me what's a good trading platform for a beginner. You know, the thing is that these platforms are becoming more and more sophisticated. You don't even need half the stuff they have on them. The most important thing is learning how to trade and just getting in and getting out. You don't even need half the bells and whistles that these things happen. I'd find one you feel comfortable with, you don't feel overwhelmed, just to learn how to trade. You don't need the bells and whistles all at once. There is no one that I can say, oh, this is the easiest one in the world. I think a lot of them actually are overly complicated. I think you pick one and you just learn how to enter trades and exit trades with it and use how to read the level 2 and set up the charts the way that you want them. You know, Ali, you can email me as well at melissa@thestockswoosh.com. I can send you a free demo and you can play around with it. But there's not like one favorite thing and I say, oh, this is, you know, what the beginners should learn. I think they're all a little overly complicated. And the most important thing is just getting your charts in a way that you'd like to see the candles and you can read what's going on. So there's no special charting software that I use, Paul. Find one that you like as long as you can use it for day trading and has candlestick charts. Paul's asking me, is there a method to trade the last hour of the day? You know what? I don't do that. I don't do that. And is there one? There might be. Do I feel the need to look for that? No, because the reason the gaps work is because there is a forced decision that's being made in the gap. By the end of the day, what usually happens is, and this isn't all the time, there could be a reversal of a momentum move that could happen quick into the close of people exiting something that were in one direction on the day. Okay. Does it happen all the time? No. Look at that LPSN bar that I showed you. That just fell, that's actually fell and closed as a big solid red bar. Any of those things that happen into the close that have momentum are usually people getting out who are covering their trades that they were in during the day. It's not the same type of activity for the reason that I'm trading the gaps in the morning. That momentum is happening and created on the open because something happened that made that stock symbol gap. It could be any one of a million things. News. It could be earnings. It could be a change in the earnings. It could be, you know, a sector gap. It could be a downgrade. It could be anything. And that stuff happens between the night of and in the morning. It doesn't happen into the close. So the forced decision's being made for a reason, and that reason is creating that momentum into the open. That same thing doesn't play out into the close. Does that make sense? So you wouldn't find the same kind of play and momentum into the close, even if there was a method. Is there a method? I'm sure there is. Could I figure it out? Yes. If I want to spend 3 more years figuring that out, I could. I don't want to do that. It took me 3 years to figure this out. That was enough. And honestly, there's more than enough money here for you to make doing this system. You don't need to do anything into the close. And the pressure happens from the quick, fast, forced decision making for the purpose of what's going on. When the gap is created, it's already underway and in play and visible to everyone on the planet by 3:30. So it's not the same kind of forcefulness. You know what I mean? And that's the difference. Does anyone else have any other questions? These are some good questions tonight, actually. Everybody's asking some good questions. So the main thing that I wanted to get across here before we close out tonight is that if you really want to be successful as a trader, focus on what you're supposed to do and whether or not it makes any sense. Because there's lots of different things out there. There's a million ways to trade. There's 100,000 strategies you could do or learn or places you could go. A lot of them don't make any sense. Okay. If you want to have longevity as a trader, you're going to have to do something that actually makes sense. I hope that I'm getting the point across because it's vital. It's vital to your long-term success as a trader and for you to ultimately be able to really make serious money doing it, what you want to do. Does anyone have any other questions? So if anyone's interested in the Golden Gap course, it's this weekend. It's Saturday and Sunday, May 18th and 19th from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Eastern Time. The cost is $19.99. If you're interested, email me at melissa@thestockswoosh.com or if you have any other questions. This was recorded, and it should be on YouTube tonight. And you can go to YouTube and look at some of my videos there as well. Feel free to go and check out any of the videos on YouTube as well. So thanks, everyone. Have a wonderful evening. Oh, Dan is asking about the live trading room. I trade gaps. I trade gaps live. Everything I'm doing right now, I call the trade them live. I trade. The room opens at 8 a.m. It opens at 8 o'clock in the morning. An hour and a half before the market opens, I'm figuring everything out before then. I'm doing everything that I just showed you now. I'm reading the story before the gap sets up live on the open. And then in the room, I trade. And I call live trades in the room. So it's open from 8 to noon. And then that's it. It closes at noon. The moves happen in the morning. And many times I'm completely done trading by 10:15, 10:30. And then I'm doing teaching and reviewing the trades and reviewing the gaps and looking at the stuff for the next day into 12 o'clock. There's really no reason to keep pushing it. I find that people give money back in the afternoon. So the key is to make the money in the morning and keep it. Make the money in the morning and keep the profits that you make. And over the long haul, how are you going to make more? Not by training more things, more symbols, more strategies, longer time frames. Again, it's about the quality. The quality is getting good at one thing and then taking it with size. Instead of taking 300 shares as a beginning trader, taking 1,300. Instead of taking 1,300, taking 5,000. It's about taking what you do and maxing it out in size. And once you get good, you make more over time as you increase your size and increase your risk. You're just doing the same thing instead of trading more. Less is more when you want to be a profitable trader. It's like a catch-22. Less is more, meaning less trades, less time, more money. It's one of those tricky things about the market, all right? It's where people get tripped up. They say, well, I'm allowed to take 5 trades today. My first trade was green. I can take another one. I can take another one. I can take another one. All of a sudden, you've given half your day back, and you had a great morning. And you had this morning in 15 minutes. There was no reason for you to sit there and take 5 more trades. You gave back then the money you made in 15 minutes. It's just too much. It's overdone. It's about playing the momentum with size in a good strategy that gives it to you, that gives you the momentum that you're playing into. And then as you get better, you do it with time. Or you do it on a bigger time frame, overnight, swing trades, core trades, options, whatever you want to do with it. You're using the information to read what's going on with the side of the power to trade, not about doing it for 8 hours straight. Okay? All right. Thanks so much, everyone. Thanks, everybody, for coming. Have a wonderful night. Email me if you're interested in signing up for the class this weekend. If you'd like more information. Thanks so much, everyone.